I remember thinking if I could just get one morning to myself, one afternoon, or one evening where nobody needed anything from me, I'd finally feel rested. And then I'd get it. The kids would be out, the house would be quiet. I'd make myself a cup of tea, sit down, pick up my phone, and somehow I'd get to the end of that time still tired. Maybe you've experienced that too. Hi, love. Before we go anywhere, I invite you to take a breath with me. Inhale and exhale. And you don't have to figure anything out while you're listening today. You don't need another morning routine, another habit tracker, another thing to add to your list. This is simply a conversation. One woman sharing what she's been learning and inviting you to explore it with her. And today I want to talk about something that confused me for a really long time. Why I didn't feel rested, even when I finally had time to rest. For years, I thought what I needed was some time alone. And don't get me wrong, sometimes I absolutely did. But I started noticing something interesting. I'd finally get the thing I'd been craving all day: quiet, space, nobody asking me questions. And instead of feeling peaceful, I'd scroll or I'd think about everything I needed to do tomorrow, or I'd half watch something while mentally making a grocery list, or I'd start researching the next thing I wanted to learn. And then I'd stand up, wondering why I still felt tired. I had rested, hadn't I? Have you ever done that? So maybe the kids are finally asleep and you finally sit down on the couch, and before you even realize it, you're answering texts, looking at Instagram, researching air fryers, planning Christmas, thinking about getting the kids ready for school, reading one more article, and it's like your body finally stopped moving, but your mind never did. And I don't think I actually needed more time. I think I needed to learn how to receive rest. And those are two very different things. So I have been learning more and more about the nervous system and just becoming really curious about my own body, about healing, about why sometimes I'd finally slow down and somehow still feel activated. And I started realizing something. I started realizing that my body had become so used to being quote unquote on that when everything around me got quiet, it didn't automatically know how to become quiet too. Have you ever noticed that? The house is peaceful, but your shoulders are still up around your ears, or you're lying in bed, but your jaw is still tight, or you're technically resting, but you're already planning tomorrow. One of the things I've been experimenting with recently is paying attention to what actually helps my body soften. Instead of paying attention to what looks relaxing, I'm paying attention to what feels relaxing. And interestingly, so as a yoga and meditation teacher, I love exploring breath practices. And there are some really fun ones that are great to do with kids, that are great to do for yourself. And a friend brought one up to me recently that I really love doing in kids yoga. But for me, as a calming practice, it just didn't feel right in my body. So I started to lean into the ones that did. Because humming can be really powerful. Breath practices can be really powerful. Sound and song can be really powerful. So the hum that I really appreciate is a soft hum. It's a long hum. I love just quietly humming this one to myself. And as I do it, even as I think it, even if I can't say it out loud, depending on where I am, I can feel my body begin to soften. And it all began with the question, what helps my body feel safe enough to let go? And I think that's such a different question than what should I be doing? Maybe rest isn't something we do. Maybe it's something we receive. And maybe before we can receive it, our body needs to believe it's safe. So if this feels familiar, I want to leave you with 3 tiny things you could experiment with this week. These are just invitations. This is nothing you need to add to your to-do list. Take what feels good, leave what doesn't. First, before you reach for your phone, take one slow breath, just to arrive in the moment. Second, notice one place your body is holding on. So maybe it's your jaw, or your shoulders, or your belly. And see if you can soften it by just 2%. Not completely. There's no pressure here. Just an invitation to soften a little. And third, the next time you get 5 quiet minutes, instead of asking, what should I do? Try asking, what would help me come home to myself right now? Maybe it's tea. Maybe it's sitting outside. Maybe it's humming softly. Or maybe it's simply doing nothing. I think so many mothers are living in response, responding to children, to schedules, to notifications, to responsibilities. And after a while, we forget what it feels like to simply be with ourselves. And if today's conversation resonated with you, and you're realizing that what you've been craving isn't just more time, but a deeper sense of peace within yourself, I'd love to invite you into Vibrant Mom Life. Inside our community, we begin with awareness because we can't change what we don't notice. But we don't stop there. Together, we explore what's underneath the exhaustion, the busyness, and the constant feeling of being quote unquote on. And we begin releasing the old patterns that keep us living in survival mode. We practice simple, compassionate ways of helping our bodies feel safe enough to truly receive rest. And little by little, what once felt like something you had to chase becomes something you begin carrying with you. I would love to walk that journey with you. If you feel called to explore Vibrant Mom Life, head over to soulcaremom.com/vibrant. So today, if you don't remember anything else, remember this. Rest isn't always about having more time. Sometimes it's about giving your body permission to receive the time you already have. And if this conversation felt like something your heart needed today, I would love for you to share it with another mom. And if you'd like a gentle place to begin your mornings feeling more grounded, you can download your free gift, Kickstart Your Calm Morning. You can find the details in the show notes. Take one more deep breath with me, love. Inhale. Exhale. Can you hear the raindrops? It's just started to rain and it sounds so lovely. Before we close, I want to leave you with this. May you move through the rest of your day with a little more gentleness, a little more trust, a little more compassion for yourself. May you remember you don't have to earn rest. You don't have to earn peace. You don't have to earn your worth. And whenever life pulls you in 100 different directions, may you always know the way back home to yourself. Because every time you come home to yourself, your children learn where home is too. And wherever today finds you, know that I'm always sending you so much love.